Ladies and gentlemen, dear tankers, just as general note, footage you are going to see is available in full HD resolution with captions included. Enjoy watching. In current review we will compare IS-5, also known as Object 730, to its standard counterpart IS-3, and favorite stat boosting tank of many players with purple WN8, that is IS-6. Speaking about them, all three are very similar while at same time facing different environment. IS-5 and IS-6 are premium tanks, so making credits and training crews is much better than on IS-3, but only IS-6 got special matchmaking, making it face maximum of Tier 9 battles. As we can see visually, this new tank looks very familiar. It base on hull from IS-8 and stay in line with dimensions of IS-3 and IS-6, where IS-6 differs from those two by promoting gameplay where player will benefit of thinking and angulation of tank, in difference to IS-3 and IS-5, having front plates in shape of triangle. Notice that turrets of all three are placed in front of tank, where having viewfinder and gun in front part of tank benefits the most in current game model. For comparison of the statistics, IS-5 and IS-6 got to 50 hit points more than IS-3, still all three can take decent amount of damage. Also all three are kind of blind, but that can be easy solved by decent crew and coated optics as equipment. Lower we can see armor in millimeters. Sadly those numbers don't represent what can be found on battlefield. Next we can see details of firepower section. Have a look at average damage per minute output. It is surprising that premium tanks are much better at that field than already overperforming IS-3. 4 cannons on those vehicles. Penetration value on 122mm D30 may seem to be low, yet you can run only with premium shells and still progress with credits. More important is what we can't see here. IS-5 shoot with APCR rounds with that 221 penetration, and thanks to that it have stunning 1400 meters per second the flying speed of the default shells, when simultaneously IS-3 shoot with 1003 meters per second velocity, and IS-6 with 790 meters per second, what is nearly half slower than IS-5 gun. Lower we see gun depression, and those values are maybe not highest, still enough to not complain about it. After that we can see numbers suggesting IS-3 will be sharpest of them, and IS-5 the fastest, but let's see this in practice. IS-5 in middle, IS-6 on left, and IS-3 on right. In turning all three are slow. Here the drivers did not have clutch braking nor off-road driving skills trained, but serious tankers would definitely want to get them. With again opposite to detailed statistics. IS-5 finish first, then IS-3, and last IS-6. Then for acceleration. All go very similar. That is with quite decent speed as for heavy tanks. We also find that IS-5 top speed can't be reached without hill to drive off from. Now for shooting at a mobile target. Interesting part in those Soviet cannons is how accurate they shoot, while having very high dispersion of 0.4 and more. Shooting in move with locked turret. Dispersion is definitely noticeable and it would be unadvised to shoot like that, yet IS-3 and IS-5 have so good penetration, that if rounds would actually land on target, it should dealt some damage to enemy. For armor practical testing, we are going to shoot in IS-5 just in a moment, with Carnarvon as for its decent and fast shooting cannon.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Enemy armor is
Landing rounds on front plates seems to be quite tricky.
We didn't even
This
scratch
should
them.
be weak spot. Look next to the crosshair, there is small number representing penetration power at place where we aim.
Enemy is hit.
Ultimately third round gets in.
Penetration.
Lower plate also being well armed and quite small. By side scraping IS-5 put himself in disadvantage. Still, thanks to Soviet propaganda and fake statistics, it gets boosted protection.
That one didn't go through.
And that triangle shape of front plates. Gun mantle cover a lot of weakest part of turret. And definitely it is not weak spot. Turret copulas are of course weak spots.
Enemy armor is hit.
This penetration is surprising. Side of turret being also well protected. And surprise again. Summarizing pros and cons of IS-5. For pros, very fast shell velocity of default rounds. Armor weak spots designed in a way, forcing the opponent to rely on luck to break armor. Being premium vehicle overperforming its standard counterpart. Therefore skipping aspects all premium vehicles. Having its place in strongholds team battles and companies of tier 8. Being capable to stand its own ground even versus tier 10 tanks. Simply crushing the opponents in battles where being top tier. For cons. Even that being premium vehicle, no special matchmaking and thus seeing tier 10 battles, where influence on battle is very limited. Hardness to obtain this tank, as vehicle only come as reward from campaign, free for 4,500 tankers, and for another 6,500 tankers as reward, being allowed to buy it for really a lot. What is best example of communism? Make players compete to give their money to you. Thanks for watching and please let us know if you like it. Also while here subscribe to stay tuned for more, or come and say hello to us on Facebook or Twitter. You may also notice those mini screens are clickable. Finally at the end some dose of humor. There was a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette. They were all trapped on an island and the nearest shore was 50 miles away. The redhead swam trying to make it to the other shore, she swam 15 miles, drowned and died. The brunette swam 24 miles, drowned and died. The blonde swam 25 miles, got tired, and swam back.